Hello everyone, how are you doing today? Hope you're having a delightful day. It is time to update my Shop My Stash. If you've never seen a Shop My Stash video before, this is where I go through my personal stash and pull out products that I would like to use in the next month or so. And I like to do this quite regularly to make sure that I'm going through my collection and nothing is just left sitting. This way I get to enjoy my collection, and I do find it helps when I do this to keep myself from buying all the new things, just because I recognize how much awesome stuff I already have, and I really enjoy doing this type of thing. So before I get into the stuff that I'm putting away and then the stuff that I'm pulling out, I have to tell you about my tea of the day. It's from a tea brand that I have never tried before. So I got this sample in my Sips by box and I just love the name. Hale Tea Company. It makes me think of like old British literature. How are you today? I'm very hale, thank you. I don't know, I just enjoy it. And I love their little insignia, the little motto, not insignia, their motto. Purveyors of fine tea. I love it. And this little brand is from Savannah, Georgia. But anyway, the tea I'm drinking from them is their jasmine flower green tea, which I admit I do have some passion in my heart for a good jasmine tea. I haven't even taken a sip yet, so let's take a sip and see how it is. It's okay. It's better than okay. Like, I just had some really exceptional jasmine teas, so this one doesn't quite get up to that level, but I feel like it's all right. Okay, let's talk about the products that I'm going to be putting back into my collection. Let's start with foundation. So I had pulled out my Believe Beauty foundation. I really enjoyed this one. However, I didn't reach for it as much as I thought I would because I was so focused. I am still focused on using up my Project Pan foundation, but I am going to put it back in my collection now. Same with my MAC Studio Radiance. I love this stuff, but I'm just gonna put them away for now. They've been out for a little bit, so I'll pull something else out instead. Moving on to eyeshadow, I tried something new last month in which I didn't actually pull out palettes. I wanted to see what I would just reach for filming and just everyday wear and things, and just to see what I wore. So I kept everything out that I pulled out so I can show you. Last month, I was testing my two new Tom Ford palettes. So I did wear these. This is the Disco Dust. I'll put up a picture or two wearing this one. Really beautiful. And then the Body Heat Quad. I gotta say, I mean, I did just do a video talking about my review of these, so I won't go on too much, but I do really enjoy the thin consistency of these eyeshadows. They are very nice. But I spent quite a bit of time testing those, so I'm gonna put those back into my collection. I found myself wanting to reach for some colorful shadows last month. Summer does this to me often. I just want to wear neutrals, but I did pull out a couple Kaleidos palettes last month, including the Flower Punk palette from Kaleidos. This is such a fun, unique palette. Everything from the packaging to the color story, so it's magnetic, so it's kind of cool that way. But I actually did two looks. I used, if I got upside down, I did a mint look using these shadows, and I did kind of like a mauve. Excuse me, that cough still hasn't gone. I did like a mauve look with these three shadows. I was thinking I might dip into the greens, but I didn't really, but that's all right. I'm gonna put this back into my collection. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll pull it out again in the next rotation, but for now I'm gonna put it back. And I also pulled out from Kaleidos my Futurism 3 Astro Pink palette, which looks like this. It's beauteous. Every time I use the Kaleidos formula, I really enjoy it. I also used my Auric Duo once last month, and my Natasha Denona Chroma Crystal Top Coat. Oh, I should say what shade. I have the shade Defiance in the Auric, which is the more golden shade. It's always satisfying reaching for my expensive stuff, like to get some use out of this stuff. And then from Natasha Denona, the top coat in the shade Peach, which there's a lot of people who dislike this, but I don't know, I think it's really nice. I think that's really pretty. Anyway, I did wear that last month. I also had pulled out a palette of singles. I actually kind of forgot about this palette. I only reached for it one time for that shadow right there. So I'm gonna take that out and put that one back. But the rest of these, I'm just gonna keep out. I'm hoping I'll reach for them in the next month. The shade that I had reached for is a shade from Davina in the shade Erratic. This shade actually surprised me. It is so intensely metallic. It was quite the look when I was wearing that. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, that one's going back in the collection. The rest are staying out. One palette that I reached for a lot last month was my ABH Master Palette by Mario palette. I'm kind of low-key trying to hit pan in this palette still. Even though I put my Pan those eyeshadows on hold, I still have this one out and I use it quite often, especially for the mattes. I've been trying to hit pan on this matte over here. I've been using it with a lot of just random sparkly shades from different palettes, and you can't really tell because it looks like I've hardly touched it, but there's a little bit of a dip going in that shade. And I think I'm going to continue to leave this out. But the rest of everything that I showed you is going back. I had some of my more expensive lipsticks pulled out last month. This one from Bobbi Brown in the shade Cezanne Nude. I wore this a lot. I really like the pinky nude color that it is. My YSL lipstick in this is the Rouge Volupte Shine, which is it, and it's a very pretty bright pink color, nice for summer, but I think I'm ready to put that one away for now. And then also my new Merit lipstick in the shade Slip. Really, really nice nude, and I wore those lipsticks quite a lot last month. So all of those are gonna get put away. As far as highlight, the one that I had pulled out in addition to my Project Pan highlight was this one from Merit in the shade Citrine, and it is the one I'm wearing today. I just love it, but I am going to put it back into my collection. As far as blushes go, I was kind of like him and hawing about what to do. I tested so many blushes last month that I didn't really reach for a whole lot of my Project Pan, not Project Pan, my Shop My Stash blushes. So I still have like my little container here, and I'm gonna keep these ones out. My Tower 28 blush in the shade Magic Hour, my e.l.f. blush palette, my M Cosmetics Color Drops in the shade Venetian Rose, my ColourPop Serum blush in the shade Psst, and my Project Pan blush, the shade Nude Tude from NYX. So all of those are staying out, but I am going to put a couple away. The one that I'm wearing today is the Glossier Cloud Paint in the shade Beam. I've had this one out for several months now throughout the summer. I'm ready to put this one back. And then last month I had also pulled out my Honest Beauty blush in the shade Rose Pink. It is probably one of my favorite all-time blushes, if not the all-time favorite blush, and I did wear it last month. It's still good. I was kind of checking it to see if it had gone bad. Nope. It still performs fantastically, smells good, and the color is still perfection. So anyway, I'm happy to put this back into my collection for now. Okay, so let's talk about products I'll be pulling out. So in addition to my Project Pan foundation, which is the Missha BB Cream, I'm gonna pull out a foundation I haven't used in quite a while. That would be this foundation from Merit. Now, they don't call this a foundation, they call this the Perfecting Complexion Stick. I have the shade Linen, which I don't know if it's the best shade for me, but when I blend it out, it does seem to work pretty well. And I really, really like how this blends out, especially with their complexion brush. It's been a little while since I used this. I'm interested to try it again. As far as palettes go, I'm gonna try and give myself freedom again, just to reach for whatever, including cream shadows, any other singles I wanna pull out. I'll make sure and keep them out so I can show you my next update, what I ended up pulling out. However, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna reach for these 3 palettes at least. I got my Sydney Grace order in, and I did get the Tiny Marvels palette, which is what I'm wearing on my eyes today. I'm wearing a combination of these 2 shades in my crease and then this shade all over my lid. Something just really simple and easy, but I'm really looking forward to using this more. So this will probably feature in the next update, as well as the other palettes I got from them. So I got the Coffee Talk palette, which is a very, very neutral palette, and also the Enduring Love palette, which looks like that. So I probably will be using mostly these 3 palettes next month. Keep on the lookout for videos coming up. I will likely be using these on my eyes in those videos. And I will have to pick one of these to do a get ready with me with as well. So moving on from eyeshadow, let's talk about some lip products. I'm really kind of wanting to pull out some of my more neutral lipsticks this month. So this lipstick from Almay, I haven't pulled this out in a really long time. This is one of the Lip Vibes lipsticks. I have the shade Go Wild. It's in the matte formula, but it's one of those lipsticks that is pretty much too light for me. I have to use it with a lip liner to make it okay, otherwise it just kind of washes me out, but I really enjoy the formula of it. I'm also gonna pull out this lipstick from Revlon. This is in the matte formula, and this is the shade Untold Stories. And while it is not a perfect dupe, it is pretty close to Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. So I'm expecting to enjoy that very much. And then my sister gave me a lipstick that I need to test. She gave me a Kosas lipstick. So this is the shade Stardust, and this is actually quite pink, but it seems to be like a sheer lipstick, which I'm excited to try. It's kind of balmy, which I love that type of formula. If any of you guys have tried the lipsticks from Kosas, let me know. What do you think? And then I'm gonna pull out 2 glosses. This one from Tower 28, which The Tower 28 gloss has got to be, it is one of my favorite formulas of all time. This is the cream formula in the shade Cashew. This is the type of shade I want to wear all the time, and so I tend to buy this color a lot, unfortunately, but I do really enjoy this one. And right now my Project Pan gloss is very, very pink, so I'm craving just a nice caramely neutral gloss. And then I'm also gonna pull out this one from Neutrogena. This is the Hydra Boost Hydrating Lip Shine. I have the shade number 20, Berry Brown, which looks like that. A little bit more pinky than the one from Tower 28. All right, and that's it for lip products. Let's talk about blushes. So even though I'm keeping out several, since I won't be testing so many blushes this month, I think that I can pull a few out. One that I want to try and get some more use on is one of the blushes I picked up last month is this one from J.Cat. This is the Blushmallow blush, the soft blusher in the shade Thank You Very Much, which looks like that. Looks kind of rusty instead of berry, but I think I enjoy that more than something that's super, super berry. This one from Believe Beauty, I actually had a comment from someone telling me to try this, and I was like, oh, I actually have that blush. So I have the Believe Beauty blush in the shade Dollface, which even though it's summertime and I tend to reach for some of my more bright blushes this time of year, it's always nice to have something that's just a little bit more cool. That's a really nice formula, by the way, and it's very inexpensive at Dollar General. Really, really easy to use, beginner-friendly blush. And I have to pull out this blush from Milani. In fact, I meant to pull it out last month and I forgot. So this is the Cheek Kiss blush in the shade Coral Crush, and I only wear this in the summer. So I will probably be wearing this one quite a bit in the next month. It is a very, very bright coral color, and when I wear it, I only wear a little bit because that's all I need. And then one more blush. I'm gonna pull out my powder blush from M Cosmetics. This is the Heaven's Glow blush in the shade Venetian Rose. It is a just, glorious blush. Oh, it's so, so beautiful. I find myself very, very partial to baked powder blushes like this. If I'm gonna go for a powder blush, I want it to be baked like this. There's just something extra nice about them. This particular one does have a little bit of luminosity to it. I don't know if you can really see it right now, but it has a little bit of sparkle in it. Yeah, here in my hand it's looking pretty matte, but it actually has a little bit of sparkliness to it to add just that extra healthy to your cheeks. I don't know what that meant. It's good though, okay. Okay, highlighter. I'm actually gonna pull out a lot of highlighter because I've been wanting to use these, so I'm gonna pull them all out. So 2 from Flower Beauty I'm gonna pull out. So first, this liquid one. This is their new Spotlight liquid highlighter, and I have the shade Opal. This has been getting a lot of hype because it's very, very similar to the one from Charlotte Tilbury. So that is what it looks like there. It is very, very pretty, but I haven't used it as much as I thought I would when I initially bought it. So make sure and use that now. And then the other one is a favorite from Flower Beauty. This is the Day Glow Highlighting Glaze, and I have the shade Stunner. This is like a perpetual favorite. Oh, it is just glorious. Really, really nice and thin on your cheeks. And if you're like interested in any sort of balmy highlighters, I feel like this is a really, really good one to try. Instead of buying a high-end one, the formula is just as good as high-end, and it is a really just beautiful, easy to use formula. I'm also gonna pull out my NARS highlight. I have the shade Fort de France. This kind of slightly more toasty shade is one I want to make sure I use this time of year. So even though it's a little bit more toasty, a little more warm than I usually wear, this is the perfect time of year to wear it. Ooh, and one more thing that I think I'd like to add. Since I do have room for one more shade in my little palette of neutrals here, I'm gonna pull out my Sydney Grace shade in the shade Somber. I swatched this for you guys in one of my videos highlighting my favorites from Sydney Grace, and it made me want to wear this. So I'm gonna pull it out to make sure that I do wear it. When you first swatch it, it is a super deep shade, but when you blend it out, it has the most beautiful undertone to it, and it makes for a really, really nice single shadow look. Oh, it's so pretty. So that's it there, and I think that's it for things I'm going to be pulling out. Always refreshing to pull out a bunch of new items to play with. So thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope that you're having a great August. I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye guys!